Because many of us, we left our homeland to this newfound land, and we are here not because of cultural reasons but because of economic reasons. So it's important for us to be able to use our numbers. And one of the things that we've decided to do is, so in most services, for example in insurance, we'll be able to get 9% discount from our car insurance. So anyone who owns a car will enjoy 9%, and if you own a house and a car, you're going to enjoy 21% discount. Why? Because we have the numbers and we're able to leverage the number with a particular insurance company, and we're open for better discounts by talking to other ones. Also, even your internet usage. So what we're proposing is to begin to strategize and galvanize our numbers to be able to get maximum results. Another benefit of community engagement is companies will not just only advertise on Facebook and Indeed.com, they will also advertise on our platform, the association. What that means is that whether you're a newly arrived or you're somebody who has been here long enough that wants to cross over from one job to another, you will always be acquainted with such information, because it's important that we support our people. The association is going to get behind every individual. I heard somebody talk about children. One of the agendas that we have for children is to be able to promote certain things that matter to us. So on Saturdays for 2 hours across different parts of this city, one of the things I've already spoken to even in my company is that we're all allowing a space over the weekend where children will come and they will listen to things like folk tales. They'll be taught social etiquette. They will be taught our values, and these are things that are important to you and I. So you're running on, you have a leadership who is interested in ensuring that every single member of the association is catered for within the vision of my administration. And I'm grateful that I have time to debate about it today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We would like to invite Papayanski to give us.
Do you have my slide?
Okay.
Oh, you mean you were not trying to do that?
Your time starts now.
No, he has to be ready. We do immediately, yeah. He has my slides, so he should.
Just send it.
It's been sent about 1 hour ago. It's okay, I can still talk through it. Some things are in the head. Good day once again, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bab Shugbamu, popularly known as Papa Yankee. I am humbled enough to be here today to be able to talk to you about my vision. Because of the age bracket I belong to, I'm at the point of realization and actualization. And what that means is that I don't do things for profit, but rather I just want to do things in the sand of time. So I have been involved in the lives of so many people. Many of the people that are seated here today, they have actually, we've had contact and have been able to support. So all I'm trying to do as the president today is to connect all the opportunities we have that are all scattered. There are several WhatsApp groups that are all around. We are all doing wonderfully great, but they are in disjointed form. I wish to be able to connect all the dots together. And as you know, little drops of water, when they connect, they actually can form a stream. So that is part of the intention that I wish to bring forth in order to consolidate and put a structure and system in place. I have only 3 or 4 things to do at top level. I intend to take care of the kids. I intend to take care of the youth. I intend to take care of the children, the students, as well as the elders. Connecting all the government opportunities, connecting all the available utilities all around us that seems to be sparse as we speak. I have some strategic initiatives that are put in place. We've divided them into short, medium, and long-term plan. Some of them are just hanging fruit. All we need to do is to just connect them, and we're just moving. Whereas the other ones that are medium term, we'll spend some time, brainstorm about them, and bring up the initiatives to be more concretized. Talking about subsidy, talking about supports, we can easily sit down and get advantage of all the things that are all around us. So we don't have to be specific in any way because our needs are different. So we have opportunities to connect for jobs, do some job referrals for our people, connect facilities that we already know. And I'm sure if we do a survey among all of us here, each and every one of us have something that is unique. So my intention is to connect all those inputs and be able to use them for the purpose of the association. Technology, I'm going to greatly use the opportunities we have for the association. So please ask all the questions, because the three of us here are here to actually support and progress the association. Thank you.
Thank you very much, presidential candidates. The next agenda we would be going to discuss our kitchen table issues. I call them kitchen table issues because most times it's in the kitchen we dissect certain things. And that would be the debate. We're moving on to the debate now. If you have your questions, please just be getting them ready. Starting from Papa Yankee. We would have the presidential candidates all answer the questions, and you would have 60 seconds to give us an answer to the question. So just give me a minute. Let me get my timer on. Okay, so the first question we have would be, if elected the president, what would you do differently from the current administration?
Every day in our life is different. So we are supposed to approach life in different times at every opportunity we have. What will I do differently? Because of my, with all my humility, I'm actually selfless, and that's what I was referring to according to my current level in life right now. I intend to concretize all the various opportunities as I've mentioned before. I intend to actually improve on the teamwork we have currently in place. There is room for improvement in that area. I intend to use technology to take us beyond the level where we are right now. The highest money is made through technology right now. So we can actually move ourselves from the cultural to socio-economic as well as the political voice of this community. So one of my intentions is to deepen the presence of Nigerians in Nova Scotia, so that when we decide to meet at this kind of a time, we'll have all the press outside trying to have a glimpse of who is there and what are they doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll proceed to Mr. Adegoke.
Thank you. One of the things I realized about the present challenge that we face is the lack of, people have not been able to find value out of the association. And that's why it's difficult. It's easier for people to pay $50 for a show than to pay $50 for a membership, even though the show is 1 day and the membership is 1 year. And the reason why is because anytime that there is no value in a thing, it's hard for you to release money. So one of the things that we're going to do very different is to create value in the association. One of the things we must do is that our monthly meetings must no longer just be monthly meetings. They must become empowering meetings. That means that when you and I are gathering together, join our monthly meetings, we're coming to learn certain things. So some months will be about investment, some months will be about strategy, some months will be about home improvement. And we're going to also make sure that some of those meetings are divided into twofold. So the male and the female will meet and they will not have a joint meeting. If we begin to create, is it over? Oh, first.
You have 5 more seconds. Thank you, go ahead.
Yeah, what I'll be doing differently is from our watchword, what we call our watchword. It's called credibility, transparency, accountability, image, diversity, and inclusion. We all can see that inclusion, when you talk about inclusion, Canada, in any organization you find yourself, either school, whoever that leads that organization must be balanced with all its decisions. So in this regard, I will be balancing every tribe, because we know Nigeria is over 3 by tribe. We are over 300. So I'm going to make this a diverse system. Then credibility. We all can agree to this, that this current administration, they have done their best, but we need to work more in the area of credibility and transparency and accountability. We don't have what it takes right now to provide all the information that we needed. There's no information anywhere for us to access. And thank you.
I was trying to get your attention to tell you 5 seconds more. Okay. Thank you very much. We've heard what they intend on doing differently. The second question we're going to take, and I will go from afar, would be, if elected, how would you want to strengthen our core values and promote our tradition within and outside the association? So if you're elected the president, how do you intend on strengthening the core values of the Nigerians and promoting our tradition?
Many seconds, Yara. How many minutes? Okay.
I'll let you know when it's time.
Okay, first, if any of you have seen the bylaw of the association, the bylaw of the association is actually credibility, transparency, accountability. And this is not what is currently happening. I will tell you, because right now, if you talk about credibility, we have seen it all. In all our meetings, in all the executive meeting, I will tell you that there's low of record in everything that we have done in the past. I was part of the system. So what I'm going to do now is to make sure that all hands will be on deck for all my executives to be able to make sure that the credibility of everything we are doing must be balanced, must be followed. Then transparency is very, very important in this part of civilized world. If we find ourselves here, we know that even if you are not if you think nobody is looking at you, somebody is looking at you somewhere. So you will get the information somewhere that, maybe when you need to do something. So everything that we'll be doing, we will make sure that it's transparent. Everything, all our account will be out there for you to see. Then accountability. I said we'll be setting up two type of auditing. Accounting auditing and process auditing. This is very, very important for everything, for everybody to be careful of what they are doing. If you know you will be accounted for your processes, all my ESCO, I'm telling you now, please, if I'm going to be the president, every process from each office must be transparent and you must present them. Then image of the association, which is the brand that I've created and which is actually what is going on now, what everybody can see, is what we are also going to strengthen very well. Then diversity is going to be my value.
Thank you very much. I think where I am, you can't really see when I'm giving you, right? So I'm going to stay here so that you can see when I'm telling you 30 seconds more. Go ahead.
No problem. Quickly, because we're pressed for time. One of the things that value is important, because in the marketplace you exchange value for money. So that's why I keep emphasizing value, because if something is not valuable, you won't enjoy it. So one of the things we're going to do, the association is going to get behind every member, behind people's businesses. One of the things that didn't happen a lot in this association is that people didn't feel the association to aid and assist them. So some of the quick things we will do, I was talking about the issue about the children, because you have to treat this transgenerationally. So one of the things we'll do as regards the children, that the children will have the opportunity for 2 weeks, because they say it takes a village to raise a child. So we are going to create villages around our children. So they will have 2 hours on a Saturday. That means the mothers will have opportunity to have time by themselves away from their children, and the children can learn certain things that matter to us as Nigerians. It's important because we need to have these our shared values be spread across, at least within our villages. Another important thing is what I call the community engagement. It's both online and offline. Now the online aspect is one of the things that we have failed at, because we generally come alive during the Nigerian week and we go to 30 seconds. Wow, we go to sleep right afterwards. So one of the things we're going to be doing is that we're going to be constantly promoting our achievements and our people and their businesses. So we're going to encourage people to send information about what they do, who they are, and we're going to constantly be pushing it out there. So if you're into shipping, you're into politics, whatever you are into, you should be sure that the association will be behind you and we're promoting you regardless of it all. So, okay, good, thank you. So another thing I want to talk quickly is the empowerment. The empowering thing is very important, because for a lot of us, when we come together, it's an opportunity for us to learn certain things. And some of these I'm interested in things like investment. There are people that are doing so well that can transfer that information, that knowledge to other people. So some of our meetings will be internal in terms of we have outside guests, and sometimes we also have Nigerians who will come and talk to you and I on how to do certain things better. That way we can add value. When people realize those meetings are valuable, more people will come. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Can you pass the mic to?
Yeah, thank you. I'm back again. So basically, I will want to emphasize the fact that we need to strengthen our relationship with the government, and make our presence known in the business community as well as our social and cultural heritage inclusiveness in the immediate community. If we do all these values are going to come up. Rather than talking too much about what else we need to do differently, I would think it's better we concentrate on what actually we have identified, and there are quick wins for us to do. We have the likes of YMCA, we have the likes of ISANS, we have Adams. They are just there waiting for us to tap into their resources. If we look at the business environment, many of us here are entrepreneurs. If we were not, Canada has trained us to be. So we need to actually come together and talk to ourselves and find a way to get things done. I thought I have 5 minutes. So the third one we have is the social part of it. We cannot do without that social element. So we need to go deeper and then get ourselves involved with other socio-cultural elements around, find out what makes them different as well, and at the end of the day, put our foot in the front, on the front, beyond the door, and get ourselves recognized. With that recognition, with that emphasis on what else to do better, I'm sure that people will be coming after us. They'll be rushing us. Thank you.
He actually finished before the time. Thank you very much.
When you raise the paper, what does that mean?
30 seconds. A big board, okay. Yeah, the reason I stopped saying that was because I was distracting you. You kind of lose your line of flow. And that's why we got the paper for you to see. 5 seconds, yes. So when you see the first one, it's 30 seconds. Okay. Thank you very much for your answers. When you were all telling us about your manifesto, some of you mentioned something about assisting Nigerians when they come into the country for the first time. Now, a few people have sent in questions, and they would like to know, when you're elected, what are the steps you would take to assist Nigerians that are coming into the province? We want to know what you intend on doing. You say you will help them. How will you help them?
Thank you. One of the first things we must do, which also ties with new members and also with all of us, is to create what I call the first respondents. The first respondents are the ones who will be the first people that you have contact with, and we intend to create them to be in different regions. So regardless of whatever the issue is, so it's for both those who have newly arrived and people who are presently here who have all kinds of issues. So for example, if you are aware that somebody is doing a birthday or some crisis is happening in the person's life, there is a corresponding place you can send the message to. So we're going to have first respondents in different places. Under what you've described is what we call the welcoming party. The welcoming party, there are two things we're going to do with them. One, they're the ones who will receive people at arrival, and there's also what we call during the barbecue. Part of the barbecue must be modified to making it what we call the welcome. So everyone who has come into Canada in the course of the year all the way to August, at the barbecue be where we have a welcome reception for you, a formal welcome reception where you meet with the executives, you meet with other members, and we share what the possibilities are. So when we say about receiving people at the airport, one of the things we want to do is what ISAN has. There's a board they have. We're hoping that we'll be able to push it to happen as quickly as possible, where you have welcome. The Nigerian Association welcomes you to Canada, to Halifax, and they need to have some contact details and contact information. So one of the things the welcome party will do is to pick up people at the airport. Some people have debated, should it be free or should people be charged, like my general secretary was saying. One of the things we believe is that because people are coming and they need help, we shouldn't charge for that. We must find a way to be able to carry people without people having to pay for it. Is somebody listening to me? So these are things that we plan to do. We plan to work effectively with the first respondents, which will be headed by whoever the winner of the welfare is, and she would, with me, be able to chart a robust system where we have representatives across all boards. So that's one of the things that is very important and pertinent to us. Thank you.
No, don't worry. I can go. That's it. Yeah. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to make use of technology. There are some KPIs, key performance indices, that we call leading, and some of them are lagging. The leading is to preempt what people will need. So with technology, we have We have something like a checklist, what whoever is coming into the country ought to know and ought what to do so that they prepare well ahead of time. We are going to put that on the web page and monitor people's responses to them so that they give us feedback, and whatever level of support we need, we quickly tap into the resources of all the WhatsApp groups that we have, which we are still trying to bring together anyway, so that we'll be able to offer the line of support ahead of time, because Canada likes forward planning. So the intention is to be able to do that before people actually arrive. And on arrival, we'll have a party. I'm actually discussing with some of us that are already into the pick-up sequence. We can subsidize, we can get a lower rate, and we can absolutely do it at the best price we can actually get. But until all discussions are concluded, we cannot actually say what price is going to be for incoming people. Then accommodation, job references, and all the other resources, they are going to be easy. It's going to be easy for you to reach out to people through the internet, through the web page of the association. So rather than micromanaging, we rather provide information for them so that it sets them into thinking ahead of what's actually the level of support they need, so that we know how best to meet them at the middle of the road. And further than that is also to introduce them to several other facilities on arrival, so that at the end of the day they can easily find their way towards their settlement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. What am I going to do to bring people people newly landed? First, I'm just going to put the newly landed, they said first attraction lasts longer. What I'm going to do is just to make sure that like I said, I segmented this association. I'm going to run it like a social enterprise organization, like YWCA, that have a childcare in place where you pay for your childcare. Many of us have actually used that. So I segment everything into the segmentation is newly landed and existing community, and channels. What are the channels that we're going to reach these people? It's through our website, phone call, through our welfare, then word of mouth, then also email, social media group, and social media platforms. So all these platforms, we will use those networks to connect with them, to know who is coming to Nova Scotia. Do you know what we are going to do? We are going to pay for your security deposit. We are going to partner with all the properties companies like Killam Properties, Southwest Properties. We are going to partner with them. We're going to get your accommodation before you land. And you know what? We are also going to provide a van. How much is a van? A van is a van of on Kijiji or somewhere, if you can't afford a new one with a company, but we can afford a kind of a 5,000 or 6,000, we will get somebody that will be in place. As in, if you are going to pay the person the per hour driving to go and pick you, and when we pick you, we will make sure that we get you settled down in your house. From there, we start talking to you. How are you going to get a work? We connect you. Is it work you're going to do? Do you want to do business? We have Alifa partnership that we can connect you to if you want to do business. Business network, indeed, and all of that. We will do that to connect you with them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, is it possible to have the timer on? Okay, so whilst we wait for the chairman to give us the timer, to project the timer for us. Now, a few people asked a question, if this was the only questions we were going to ask. It's not. These questions actually came in from people who couldn't come for the debate. The international students would like to know, what are your plans for them? So if we have people that are coming in as international students, or those who are currently international students in Nova Scotia, what do you plan to do for them? I will start with Mr. Yankee.
Actually, the sequence doesn't even really matter. We are all ready. For the international students, it's really very simple. The first point of contact for them is the international wing. But we have started actually liaising with all the international wings. Now, let's remember that these people are not Nigerians and most of them are not Africans. So we're already closing the gap for them to understand who the students are going to be and what level of support they naturally will will need. So we are closing that gap, working close hand in hand with them with an intention to support the students, especially because of the culture shock they are going to meet in the first few days of being around. So having said that, we also have a robust system that we are planning, like for example on the board of this ESCO, there is a slot for students. So we use that avenue to reach out to them. And by the way, I must say it, this association started, with the apologies to you, madam, the association started from student body from St. Mary's. So this is like an extension of the student body. So we intend to ensure that we reach out to the students and get most of the support that they need. It's not only in bursary we can support them. Sometimes it's just pep talk, giving them calls, finding out from them, because the part of the complaint I got from some of the students is that the Asians that are manning those positions, they don't really understand them, and they are unable to actually get the right support. So having said that, in transiting, an average student wants to stay in Canada after going off. I know that we have so many immigration consultants in the making here as I speak. So we have, some of them have already gotten their license, by the way. So we have that relationship that we can use to introduce to them so that they get their PR and they stay among the community that they've grown with within the short time that they have stayed. And apart from that, we also have some academicians. We have some Nigerians that are in some of those schools that we're already partnering with in order to reach out to them and close the gap of their concerns. Thank you. So I still don't see, when you flip paper, it's only paper I see.
The first one, I said 30 seconds. The second one is 5 minutes. However, we're trying to catch up with your technology plans. So we've got so we put it on the screen for you. And we're actually giving you 2 minutes. Yeah. Based on popular vote, you're all getting 2 minutes. So the next person speaking, just look at the board. Once your 2 minutes has elapsed, I'm going to come and take the mic.
One of the things that the international students is going to enjoy is because of what we're doing, which is basically introducing the association to almost all the working organizations around, where we're introducing us to them because they have a need. Their need is human capacity. So because of those, one of the benefits international students are going to enjoy under my leadership is internship, because many of them need to do some form of internship during the summer holidays. And because of the relationship we would have developed with those various organizations, they will be able to enjoy internships. So, because we are already aware of their needs, because a lot of them are going to begin to advertise on our platform, so we know their needs, and when it's time for internship, our students, the international students, will now be able to vie for such jobs and be able to have what you call Canadian experience, which is key. Another thing we're doing is to ensure that the bursary is robust and increased. Presently, the fee is $500, and presently the bursary has been mainly from the 2 last editions have been won by students from Dalhousie. So what we've decided is that we're going to have it increased to 2,000, but will be 2 recipients instead of 1. And one of the things that will mean is that we're also making mandatory that it's not just Dalhousie, because there's St. Mary's, you have St. Vincent Mount University. So we want to make it robust. So those are some of the things that we're doing for international students. Apart from the fact that we're receiving them and we're going to have what we call a welcome, elaborate reception for them, because it's important to let them know that they have shoulders to lean on, that they have people that they can relate with, and it's important for us to be able to capture that data. And that's the reason why that welcoming session is very important, which will happen probably in the month of August or sometime in September, depending on the time, just to ensure that we're able to capture the newly arrived, and so that they can enjoy who we are as a people, and they can understand who we are, how they can easily access us. And we are hoping that as a result of that, we'll be able to create what we call mentorship transfer of knowledge, where they'll be able to enjoy the mentorship and the benefit of the wisdom of people who have gone ahead of them. Because the truth of the matter is, there's a lot that you can teach people.
Thank you very much. Pass it on to...
Hello, everyone. I know many of you don't. I was the NSCC student, international student ambassador through the first year of my NSCC school. So that's to let you know that I've actually have a good relationship with all the students across all the schools. I will tell you that my video was done on Friday night by 3 students from different schools, from Acadia University, then also from Dalhousie University. There are all many of them. And many of them supposed to be here, but they are working today. So what I'm going to do for them is not something, we also include them in arrival information that we're going to do for every other people, and we will integrate them into the system. We will include them into the association. We'll let them know what is going on, because a lot of students don't even know there is Nigerian association existing. As regards the bursary, I'm going to tell you that every year we're going to include the bursary in every school for award, and we're going to increase it to 1,000 per school in all the schools. And this is to let you know that we will also monitor all our students in all the schools, and as we are monitoring them, we are also monitoring their education level. We are also monitoring their needs. We are also monitoring their challenges, because I've had a student that after the school he fell down. Why I mean, in class together, we were in class together, and this student collapsed. Why did she collapse? Because she has gone to work and still not sleeping and come to school. You can imagine what they are going through. They are going through a lot of challenges. They are going through pain, and we're going to put this into the student to make sure that we integrate them. We integrate them with the existing community, and we let you know people who are here to also assist them in whatever they need. The association might not be able to do everything for them, but we will assist them in any way we can to make sure that we integrate the student and they will be part of us. And we also make sure that we do award for whichever student that did the very best at the end of their section. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, going to the next question. People like us that don't come for meeting, because we're not sure what you're going to get from the meeting. You obviously, some people here are here just because of the debate. Some of them don't go for meeting because they feel it's a waste of my time. So, people in that category, we want to know, what plans do you have to increase the general meeting attendance? Your time starts now.
Thank you. When I was a PRO, one of the things I actually did was just to promote the brand identity of the association. How do you promote the brand? It's making sure that I created the logo from scratch. The association does not, it's just a name that I just write in different font. But this is what you need to attract them. And we also created, part of what the executive did was also organize a kind of a tax, because the tax and the newly landed, because we organize a program for them, like buying a home, when you do that, a lot of people comes to the meeting. But after some time, we discovered that the attendance drops. And I said, we also said that we should be doing food. And I said, no, what we need to do is just to strategize. Know why people don't come to the meeting. Try to find out why they are not coming to the meeting. Not just doing the food, because food are not just what people will do. What I'm going to do is just to make sure that the monthly meeting, the purpose of coming to the meeting, people want to see the value for what the association is doing, which is why I said that we will attract them for the airport as they are coming. And the people here, we also give them with the membership card. If you see that you take the membership card to Sobeys, no fees, you're able to get a discount. And you also need information, you will also come to the meeting. But the meeting, I don't think it should be a meeting that will be for the members, but also the meeting to discuss how to progress the association forward. I also organize, we are getting an office. The office will just be for the people to also come to us, a point of contact for us. And when you come there, we can be able to discuss whatever the problem you are facing. Then so you will be able to know what the association is doing. Then when you see the value in what the association is doing, you will be interested to come for whatever association will be given to you. Thank you.
I think part of also the challenge is value for time, because sometimes some of those meetings are long and people wonder how productive they are. And that's why I keep on saying that the first meeting we'll have in February is going to lay out the different topics for each of the month going forward, straight off. And some of the topics are, and one of the things, you have to always learn to stay fresh. And that's why I said that there's going to be 30 minutes for the women, and the men are meeting simultaneously, and then there's a general meeting afterwards that just captures what the minutes are and what the whatever is. And some of those topics, I've listed some of them out because there are things that some of us need to know. There are some things that you and I need to be. We know that it's not how much money you make that matters. It's how what you do with what is left that you have made. So we're going to have people come in. There's a particular, because one of my things about my job is have afforded me to have network events with all kinds of individuals. There's a Chinese company that is in Halifax, and they're looking for businesses to empower. They're looking for businesses to sponsor. They're looking for businesses to grow, and they're not restricting it to industries. There's nothing stopping us from having a seminar that brings people like that to come and expose us to opportunities of investment. I hear a lot of people talk about chambers of commerce. Chamber of commerce is good, but inside chambers of commerce, there's something called they call BNI. It's a focus group, and that BNI is an amazing group because you get to achieve so many things. What I'm looking at is an opportunity whereby our meetings are no longer, they become what I call personal development program. That is how you will attract people to come. People who don't want to go to a place that they go there and they feel like they have wasted their time. Our meetings must become more exciting. They must become more. They must offer us more opportunity to be able to learn various things. There are Nigerians that have been successful in different aspects. We will learn from those Nigerians. The thing about it is that when the women begin to get together and deal with health issues, things about parenting and things that better themselves, you will be surprised about the networking and the influences that they will begin to develop amongst themselves. People will begin to know how to assist, because one of the things.
Thank you.
Yes, not attending meeting is part of life, and there should be value for people's time. So I will have I will basically have a structure whereby meeting is only going to be held when it's absolutely necessary. I will not take anybody's time when it's not necessary for us to see facially. And in previous experience I've had, we held global meetings through the intercom processes. We have the outlooks, we have the Zooms, we have all those facilities. So I wish I will employ the use of that technology to my use, so that at any point in time, we will not really need to meet, but what is important is what do we stand to discuss. And some discussions can be held without actually physically meeting. Further to that, and that will actually draw a lot of traffic also to our technology that we're going to put behind our website, because that website will be second to none among all the social organizations we have in Canada. You bet it is just a matter of time. Within the shortest time, I have displayed some of the things I could actually do when it comes to the use of technology. Some of you are recipients of some of my soft copies of what I sent around. Apart from that, I actually have a prototype apps for the association already. We're going to make use of it. I'm actually a business intelligence analyst. I finished also from NSCC. So I'm going to make use of that experience and skill and the resources available at my disposal. I have some of my colleagues here that I've started discussing with. So we're really going to go really digital. We are going to leave that aspect. So meeting is not absolutely necessary. I mean, we can talk across each other without necessarily needing to see. And that's the millennium skill that we are going to make use of. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our candidates. We have a few more questions. Questions are coming in from online. It's actually a live debate. Yes. So people who are watching from their homes are sending a question. But before I proceed, I would like to take 2 questions from the crowd.
Only 2?
Well, we give out 12. There are room to take 12 questions, but we're going to take 2 questions and then we go back to the questions online. So if you have a white sheet, can I have your sheet, please? Okay, proceed with your question.
Yeah.
People are giving so much attention to people online.
That's what I'm doing. I'm not having any question from them.
No, you don't. Yes, okay, yes. Calm down, let's all be civilized. Calm down, be civilized, everyone. You have raised your concerns, and as the moderator, I have heard your concerns. So instead of taking 2 questions, I'm going to take 5 questions. Because you left your house to come for the debate, and we appreciate that. So we're going to take 5 questions from those here, and then we go back to those online. Please, can you clap for me for taking consideration? Thank you very much. Okay, proceed with your questions. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon.
My name is Macaulay Okoro, or Okoro Mark on social media. Okay, I have question for Adegoke and Abdul. My question is not based on what you are saying today. It's based on the preparation you made before today. You came out with your manifesto, you came out with avatorials online, and I believe those you were prepared for those ones before you published them. And I have concerns over some of those things you said there. Now we'll start with Adegoke. The interview you had with the association, you were very charismatic there. I appreciate that. But it lacked content, and it was filled with so many misinformation. I will start with the first one. You started the interview by saying that you were here, that you played a very key role in the last election. That's an outright lie. Yes, you said that. That was an outright lie. If you are going to explain, excuse me, if you are going to, as president, I expect you to represent us properly wherever you are. If there will not be a second opportunity for you to be explaining what you intended to say. Another lie, something you said during the interview, was you were talking about people contesting for the position of welfare that you work with, and you called on Abisola. That negligence was just too much for me to bear. Abisola is not contesting for that position. If for an interview you prepared for, you were not articulate enough to know the people whose name you are going to call, I wonder what you will be doing as president. Sorry. So I said these are concerns I have that you should clear. And then, and lastly is you display an arrogance of not attending meetings as if it is a pride. And I begin to wonder, and you insulted those of us who come to meeting by claiming before the public that meetings are attended by 8 people. When that was just one incident. I have attended several meetings, we are more than 20. You be surprised, and I think as a person, I request an apology from you for that misrepresentation. For Afar, I went through your manifesto. I will just, for sake of time, I will go straight to your values. You listed 7 values, fantastic, but I'm disappointed. Why? Value 3 to 7 are repetitions of what is going on now. I will disregard them. You are part of them. So let me just take value 1 and 2. 1 for the children, fantastic. But value 2, you intend to use our collective wealth to sponsor the leisure of some few individuals. Why? You are saying that you want to go and sponsor footballers for the whole year. They decided to spend their whole time, their leisure time to go and play football. Some spend their leisure time to play tennis. I spend my leisure time drinking. Are you going to sponsor my leisure time? And lastly, you were a failure as PRO in the last administration. The mess you were said you were full of errors. You keep on repeating then you now have to correct yourself. Or we'll call you that you've made a mistake, you now correct it. Is that what we tend to be doing when you become president? And your history does not speak well of you. You have the tendency, excuse me. Your history does not speak well of you. I fear a situation where in the event you become president, that you will abandon ship. Because that is what 100% of the time you'll be given responsibility officially by this association. You have abandoned ship. And I'm afraid that's what you're going to do. Because you're not charitable to people's opinion. When your executive happen to disagree with you, you abandon ship and leave us without a leader. How would you alleviate my fear, please? Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. I'll have to give ground rules for the questions that are coming in. Please, one house, please. One house. So let's display some decorum. Thank you very much. I would like to give some ground rules. Please, do not attack the candidate's personality. This is it's on live, or rather it's like whatever the English is. It's it's live, right? Please, let's not attack their personality. In as much as they've made mistakes in the past or someone has said something that is not true, there are constructive and political ways to ask your question. You ask your question and they know the question you're asking. So please, let's not attack people's personality. Thank you.
Hello, please, attention. One thing we forgot to request from each and every one of you was that we're doing things in social media, and secondly, we're taking pictures to post in social media. Do we get your permission to do that, please? Yes. Okay, thank you. Because if you don't want, please raise your hand so that they will not take your pictures, please, because this is the first thing we're supposed to be asked, you know.
If you don't want yourself to appear on social media, sit behind the camera.
Behind, please, okay? So, because I don't want anybody to come and sue association, please. There's anything we have to do, we have to get people's permission.
Please, if you don't want it, kindly go and sit behind the camera.
What of the ones we've taken before now?
Now she has said it. Please sit behind the camera.
Okay, let's proceed.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Okoro, for your observations. First of all, when I spoke about the election, I was referring to the Nigerian election, but I understand that it's possible for us to have misconceptions. So communication is the ability to say a thing and for you to get the meaning. So if you didn't get that, I think maybe I didn't use the right words about it. So I cleared that up about that. And so that's that. As regards missing Bisola or Bisola's name, well, to err is human. We're all learning. And anybody who says that they've got into perfection on it, well, it's okay. What was the third observation? I was trying to write. No, there's a third one. Oh, you want? Oh, so. So let me say this. I never disregard Nigeria and Nigerians. Nigerians are so important to me and so valuable. That's why, let me give you an example. When we were preparing for the Nigerian week, right? And there was a budget that was created. I went to meet Kule about the budget. Kule didn't come and meet me. I'm in charge of being able to look for various events to sponsor underneath my organization, right? I approached him. He told me, when he showed me the amount they were looking for, I felt insulted. I told him to remove some money, that this is too small. I told him to double the money, not because my company, right, meets cater for the needs, because the average person that buys our car, their monthly income is 193,000. But I was able to get money out of that organization because I know how to get results. Listen, anything I tell you, I will get results out of it. I don't use words just vainly. So I want you to understand Nigeria mattered that much, because even though it was an association that I knew nothing about, I didn't know the characters in the association. I don't know whether they're embezzlers or whatever, but I was willing to take a step. Even though if they had stolen the money that I was giving to them, it would have affected my career. But because they are Nigerians and they carry Nigerian passport, I would defend it.
I'm sorry, you missed one question. You mentioned that you were involved in the past election. Okay. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. So I think the first question was about the soccer. The first question was about the soccer, and let me tell you one thing is that the soccer, and if you look at it, I actually said the soccer is going to be for free instead of paying. And I also said we're going to set up our soccer club which is going to be you have kids, everyone here has kids. I have kids. So all you need to do is to register your kids under the soccer, just like Dumbrak Soccer Club. That also benefits you as well. And the point is that money that we are actually talking about is something for us to package together, and there's a program organized by the government that we can submit those activities that we are doing and give it to the government, and government will definitely give, when they see what we are spending, to encourage our community. There's a package from the government that they can fund us, they can give us those money back, and which can also be funded with all of that. And I've also, if you look at our long-term goals, I also include in Nigerian House that people like you, we have a Nigerian lounge where you can drink, have everything, dance to Nigerian music. As long as you have, you will enjoy everything. But as we go on, everybody will be part of the system. You will enjoy in everything. My manifesto benefit every Nigerians in Nova Scotia. It's not just for one person. So, and secondly, that's for the Nigeria. I hope I've been able to answer that for you. Then you said I abandoned ship. No. I served for 8 months as an Association of Nigeria, and part of my achievement was that I created the association brand from ground zero to what you are seeing today as a brand that our association actually presented. So what is there is that I did not abandon. I was part of the system. I got to a point that I've been able to create the membership card that they are using for election today. It was all my... So, is a question. Okay, I'll round up. So the point is, the membership card you see today, it's actually my idea all the way from the way it is today. And today the membership card is not serving its purpose. And why did I leave? The reason why I left was because I've been able to promote. I like credibility. I like transparency. And this is what we promised Nigeria when we were coming on board. And at a point, I've decided to, in this civilized world, I've been able to make sure that things are done in the right way. And I've seen it that I can't take it any longer. I've been able to push it. I've been able to try it, to correct. And you know, when you are the only one doing things, so you just look at it that, can't you just pull out and step out to look at it from the outside view? And when I decided to resign, I just resigned so that I can be able to see things from outside view. And I did not resign and left the ESCO. I was part of all the meetings. Ask them. I was in every meeting. I go to every meeting to the point, and I follow I was part of the people that said the $25,000 for the hotel is no-go area. But when they approved that budget, I was out of the country on a camp with my family. So I'm part of the system. I did not abandon. If I abandon, I won't be part of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. I think you missed one question. He mentioned something about grammatical error in your messages, and he wants to know how you hope to ensure that doesn't happen.
So this is about mistake. I think Mr. Adebo can actually address that. This is about mistake. Everyone, English is my second language.
Thank you very much. I would like to tell the presidential candidates, please, for us to ensure that we stick to time, please, when you're asked a question, go straight to the point, answer the question directly. Don't take us round Canada, it's too big. Just go straight to the point. Question, the person that picked number 2, can you give us your question?
Hi everyone, my name is Junton Salvador, and like he said as well, I watched everyone's video before I came here. And for Mr. Adegoke, I had a lot of questions that I wanted to ask you, and unfortunately I'm going to toss all those questions out of the room because you said some things here which has personally offended me because you said you're going to create a forum whereby men and women are going to be segregated. I don't even know what that means. We're in Canada. And in Canada, everyone has an equal voice. There shouldn't be a segregation whereby you say women should go to a side, men should go to a side. That makes no sense whatsoever. As a president candidate, you have already taken my vote. I'm already like, oh, wow, yeah, no. How do you want to ensure that my perception of you right now is going to be righted? For Mr. Babs, all throughout your interview, the 2 parts that I watched, the vibe that you gave me was I. That was all I got. I never got anything about you saying, we are a team, we're going to do this, we're going to impact the community, this is what we're going to do as a team. And I decided that my question for you is going to be, as a president, how are you and your corresponding executive impact positively on Nova Scotia to make Nova Scotia realize that, oh, there is a community of Nigerians here, and these people are impacting positively on the environment. Forget about the technology. I just want a program that you already have written down, a plan that you have decided that once I become a president, I'm going to hit the ground running with this program, and I'm positive this program is going to work. For Abdul, I also watched your program, your interview, and like he said, your goals were a repetition. I saw that as well. And about the soccer and everything, you said on the second goal, you said you were going to you didn't answer his question rightly as out how you're going to make sure that every single person is impacted by your leadership. Because like he said, like he rightly said, he said your background or whatever happened in the past is going to give me a perception that when the trouble is going on, you're just going to be, you know what, I'm leaving you all. How are you going to be able to give me my trust that, okay, once you become the president of this association, even if the ship is sinking, everybody's running crazy, or everybody's saying, no, 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 how are you going to be steadfast in being a president, a voice above every single person, and say, you know what, even if we're all running crazy with head chickens, I'm going to be calm, we're going to do things the right way. How are you going to do that?
Thank you very much. Please, let's go straight to the answers.
Thank you again for that, Mrs. Salvador, for that observation. I think one of the things that I need to maybe slow down when I talk, because I think the concept is, I'm not dividing the house. There are certain things that are peculiar to different individuals, and it's important for many a times for you to be able to sit down and talk about. That's why, for example, in Canada that we're in, there are a lot of business network stuff that's specialized even for women. It doesn't mean that they are dividing the gender. It's not about division. And I'm not saying that men and women are not going to meet. I'm saying that in our monthly meetings, there will be times where we have 30 minutes and they will come together. And it's important because there are some things that are peculiar to each and every one of us that is sometimes easier. They call it the barbershop talk. That it's easier sometimes to have those kind of conversation. And it's not about division. We must always realize, listen, that regardless of our ethnicity, regardless of our experience and whatever it is, that there is strength in our diversity. So, but I will not deny my diversity. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but I must realize that my diversity feeds into the unity. That's why I don't have a problem with Ijos and Igbos and Yoruba and everybody having segments of meetings. As long as it all fits to a common goal. And that's why my quest is for us to be strategic and have what I call a unifying vision that rallies around the entire crowd and not just someone with a clout. That's my proposition. I'm sorry if you thought that I was trying to divide the house. That's not my intention. I'm a bridge builder. I bring people together of all kinds and of all races.
Sorry, can you pass the
Seems like I've been sitting down for too long. Okay, Madam, thanks for that observation. There is not enough time for me to demonstrate the team spirit I have. Actually, teamwork is actually one of my strongest ability. I actually achieve greater things with people rather than with myself. Some of the individual things I've actually done in the past have also always been through other people's support. But I'm the only one that you see in the forefront. Now, having said that, the program I have in place, I've actually been with support of many of the members that are coming on board right now. There is none that you see on that screen that I've not consulted. If there is any engagement I've actually had with external parties, I've actually passed through many of them who use their resources at their disposal for them to get me that slot of people's time. So there is absolutely nothing that I can actually do as an individual. I mean, if you want to walk, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to really go far, you go with people. And that's who I am.
Thank you. So, the first question, if I can get it right, Mrs. Denton, every single, you said in my manifesto that I didn't actually talk about how I'm going to link everyone together. If, like I said, it's actually in my manifesto, everyone is going to benefit from it. And how are they going to benefit? From the soccer, you as a soccer person, you are going to benefit from my you're going to get value. And if you are if you exercise on every day, you want to slim your body or you want to look anything, is part of my manifesto. You want to look in anything, it's part of my manifesto. You are included. And if you during the summer camp is included. Is not. I don't know what I mean by repetition, but I will tell you that everything is just segmented for the kids, and it's summer camp, and the summer camp is not for only kids alone. It's for also the adult. I'm not going to segregate you. I'm going to put all the people, all the husband and wife together, and the kids organize something for them. It's for everyone, not for just. Is inclusive, because if you look at my my watchword, I talk about diversity and inclusive. That is what I mean by what is inside and is for everyone. Then you talk about when the ship is down. How am I sure that I'm not going to run away, abandon the ship? Thank you. And I think what I did as a PRO to resign was just to actually step aside, and I am not the president at that point. And I think I've actually achieved what I promised. And I look at my image is very, 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 very paramount to me. And when I see that there's something that is going to tarnish my image, I am not the president. And even if I am the president, at that point, if it's going to affect my image, I will step down. So my image is so important to me. And I'm a kind of, throughout my life, I'm a brand specialist. I've been a consultant to financial bank in Nigeria in terms of branding. And this is what I value. Brand is about culture. Brand is about you. Every one of us here have image that we need to protect. That is what I need to protect. And if that thing is going to affect my image, I will step down. And as the president right now, if I am the president, I think I have the power in mind. Not the power of a ruler, but the power of leadership. And I'm going through the training, which is called strategic management skill. So I will use my strategic management skill to be able to guide my team. And I'm going to, I've said it, I know all the people I'm going to work with in all the ESCO that they've selected. I know my team. I've selected them. I've called I've called the people I know their strategy to talk to them. And they're actually going to I'm going to work with them strategically to make sure that even if the ship is going down, I'm going to be with them. Thank you.
His team just arrived. He knows his team. Please, for those of of us that have gym membership, he said he will sponsor us. We are holding you to your word. Too. Me, I will come and knock on your door. Number 5, please. Who is number 5?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Wisdom, and I'm a member of the community here in Halifax. I know some people will agree with me that not many of us are as intelligent and astute as some of the... How do I feel? Okay, so it's the setup for me to come forward. Okay, so I know some people will agree with me that not many of us are as intelligent and well-spoken as the contestants that we have here. But having been a member of the community for a while, I've had course to work with people that are newly landed and people that are about to land. And I know that one big problem that we have is people leave Nigeria and they tell you they don't want to do anything with Nigerians. They don't want to see Nigerians. Now you have lofty dreams, goals, programs. How are you going to synchronize? Because I have personally told somebody I'll pick you up from the airport, and the person said, no, thank you. Oh, yes. I told the person, you're not paying me, I'm coming to the airport to pick you. And the person said, no, thank you, I don't want any form of assistance from any Nigerian. So if you have all your programs, the technology, the first responders, I can't remember all the programs that I've heard now. How do you ensure that the person that is landing would actually embrace your program? Because it's one thing to build mansions in the air and someone says, I don't want to have anything to do with your mansion. Thank you.
Sorry, who's the question for all of them?
Yes, for all of them.
Okay. Please, answer the question directly.
Wisdom, thank you. I and yourself, we've been involved in getting people across, support before leaving Nigeria, on arrival, and also settling them. That I wish to now put into an institution. It's like we have this formidable group of people that are different WhatsApp groups. And that is the easiest way to break the ground. Wet the ground for them so that they trust you up front before arriving. But it's unfortunate that a WhatsApp group is limited to 254 people. 257 people, 56 people. Sometimes I try 257, it doesn't go. So I've been a member of a WhatsApp group. We had express entry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can imagine how many people we've been able to get across to. Many people seated in this room were members of that WhatsApp group before they even arrived. And we supported ourselves, and that created that bond. We just have to try the best we can. But we want to take it higher, put it on the association wing, so that we can actually fly and bond better, easier and smoother. That is one of the reasons many of us are seated here today. But we want to take it up, we want to take it higher by encouraging each and every one of us to be the ambassador. Form any group you want to form, but make sure that the brand of the Nigerian Association in Nova Scotia precede you. Try and continue to be transparent, be straightforward and do everything. And that is what many of the WhatsApp group is already achieving. And we still have many of them around. So we intend to bring every one of those opportunities together. I'll keep repeating it. The opportunities are all around us, but we bring them together with an intention to form a formidable team. With only that, we're going to break boundaries that does not even exist anyway. Thank you.
Thank you, Wisdom. And what I would say is that I mentioned in my manifesto, I said if you can do it as in successfully, and just imagine if you all can do it together. So you know how long we will go. So what that simply means, Wisdom asked us a question, if I get it right. It said if somebody just decided not to say that, no, I don't want any Nigerian's assistant. So how are we going to handle that kind of person? Is that your question, Wisdom?
Yes.
If I get you right. So And in this regard, I would say you can only force us to the river. You can't force us to drink water. But what we are going to do, like I said we are going to leash a lot of platform, which is to communicate with Nigerians yet to be landed. I mean, to be in Halifax. How are we going to do that? Through email, through phone call, through our website, and through a secure web platform with SSL certificate. Is an online software certificate that is guided by a higher security platform. So in this regard, this platform secure your information, secure your details. I know any of us here got here by putting our information online, and that information is somewhere. So the same organization that secured that information is going to secure our website. So what we are going to do is just to make sure that we communicate with those people, and we use word of mouth. Word of mouth go a long way in everything that we're doing. Even in business, if you do professional selling, it's the perfect way to talk to people. We know all the social media platforms. We know who handles them. And we will talk to them. We will tell them, if you know somebody coming, tell them Nigeria. And like we said as you are coming, we will take you to your apartment or to your house. Why is that happening? Because we have established partnership with some of the property management companies. And what is that is doing for you? We are paying your security deposit. All you need to pay is when you land. You understand what all these resources is not just I'm saying it. I have done my budget, and it falls into what we can achieve in a year. So what I'm saying is that by doing that, you are using that to cash whoever that is coming in, to secure them their because when you pay for somebody, when you help somebody to get an apartment, and you also pay for security deposit that is going to be refunded back to us. You pay the security deposit and it's going to be refunded back to us. That person, just know that person will see the association as a stronghold to be able to trust you. That yes, you have gotten me in an apartment. The rest is for us to now be able to integrate you into the system. And we have to sit down with you to know what you need, what you want to do. A lot of people jump a wagon. A lot of people join a wagon. Here, many people see people doing CCA and they jump there. Many people see people doing this and they jump on it. No. We have to sit with you. We have to know what you want to do. We have to get you along with the people that will guide you to do what you want to do, so that you don't make mistake. And any mistake you make here, my brother or my sister, is very, very critical. So we are going to take care of that for you. Thank you.
I thought the question was if the Nigerian wanted to refuse the assistance. So I thought that was what the question was. Thank you, Wiseman, for the question. I call him Wiseman. I know people call him Wisdom because he's a wise man. For me, the question I ask when that kind of question occurs is, what is the reason why somebody will refuse help? Because the truth of the matter is everybody wants to help. True or false? So obviously, because of reputation, and we must not deceive ourselves, that the reputation that people generally perceive, I'm sure when some of us were coming, leaving our homeland, they told you stay away from Nigerians. A lot of us probably got that kind of advice. And the reason is because of reputation. You cannot remove it. We cannot deny it. That there are some people that have created reputation that has caused people to stay away. And that's why we are in a unique position now in Nova Scotia. In UK, everybody stays away from themselves. We're in a strategic position, and this is the reason why it's important, especially many of us that have children. Because 10 years down the line, you don't want your child to be running away from other Nigerians. And that's why we must be strategic now. That's why I said that the kind of leadership we are looking for is not managers or maintainers. What we need is strategic leadership that can see 10 years down the line and begin to plot a chart now for that 10 years. Because of the reputation that Nigerians have had in UK, people stay away from each other. But I'm grateful for a place called Halifax that people are correcting such reputations, where people are able to relate, able to deal with one another. And that's the conversation and the story that we must continue to do. The fact that we have started means that we can keep on doing it. It's just a matter of time. More and more people will buy into that concept. So the question is not trying to enforce a program or a project to them. The first thing is for them to understand that this is a reputable organization, and that will happen with time. So not everybody will buy in at the moment, but we will keep on doing what we are doing. And in a matter of time, everyone will come on board. That's the reason why we must begin to create value. When we begin to have value, you and I will begin to associate with one another. And that's what is important. So, wise man, they might refuse us today, but don't worry. As we continue under our leadership with strategic planning, they will come on board. Listen, let me tell you how valuable we are. We are so valuable that we do not just need to just have members. We must begin to think about associate members. Those are people that are not even Nigerians but want to associate with Nigerians. And there are many of them. Is somebody listening to me? Listen. Thank you. Please, they always know how to support. I love these people. Thank you so much. Thank you for the honor. And there are many people that want to associate with us. And that's the reason why we must continue. These are my people. That's why we must continue to increase and create value. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to create value. The association must benefit everyone. It must benefit that girl over there. It must benefit the old person over there. And we can do it under strategic leadership and not under managers.
Okay. Thank you very much. You see, when I decided to go with the timing, the people in the room said, no, don't time. If we leave this, our presidential candidates, they will talk for 10 minutes. They will not stop. And we all have things we want to go and do. We need to leave here. There's work tomorrow. You need to go and feed the children, for those who have the children here. And to be able to keep to time, like some of them said that they will ensure that we keep to time to our meetings. I will start timing you, Mr. Presidential Candidates. This is the question I'm going to ask is from someone in the room. The person picked number 12, and the question is, we're going to have only one winner. If you do not win, how will you support the winner? You have 60 seconds.
There's something I've always been doing, which is I always set the pace. I not raise the bar. I raised the bar when I was a PRO. How did I raise the bar? I created the brand, and that is the brand that is working today. And during the email that was talking about that they talked about that I raised, that emails were purposely raised to correct abnormality. And what does that do? That created the privacy policy that Mr. Bab talked about in his interview. And that is something that I've been able to create it. So, and again, this my manifesto. I can say it here today that when my manifesto came outside, the rest of the people started putting out their manifesto. I put out something for you to make sure that when I become sorry, what was the question again? Yes. Okay. If I did not win. Okay, sorry. That's what I'm saying. That if I did not win, I've actually set out my manifesto. Anybody here, I implore you to go with my manifesto. That's all. Thank you.
For me, this is not a do or die. Two objectives I had with this running for candidacy. I thought it was 60 seconds. The first was to what we call to widen electioneering in the Nigerian Association. That was my first objective. How do we ensure that we do not have consensus candidates in these elections? It was important for me because if you have consensus candidates, you do not have the buy-in of the people. And when you do not have the buy-in of the people, you do not command the followership of the people. So people cannot respond to you. So I wanted to deepen electioneering and to also create certain standards that become like prerequisite for the future generation. You and I are living in time of history. 2 years from now, people are going to refer to some of the things that we have said and done. And that's one of my key objectives. And if that's the only objective I achieve in this campaign, is good enough for me. I wanted to create buzz so that the president of Indian Association will hear about us, who wants to be part of it. And secondly, to deepen governance. If elected, I'll be able to achieve that. But the first one is my major priority.
Okay. Okay. One house. Yeah, thank you. If not elected, I will go back to my normal way of life. And that is to continue to support the ESCO team. I wish to also say this. Before the election, I am the same person. During the election, I've been the normal person. After the election, the friendship with Abdul, with Adegoke, continues. Absolutely. So it gives me the room to be able to continue to reach out and positively engage and impact as little as I can, because I'm no longer the president. But if I am, I'm going to take it higher. Thank you.
Thank you very much. For this debate, I am the president. Yes. And I expect some level of decorum from everyone. Now, the time you have is 60 seconds. If they are still talking, leave them to talk. When it's time up, I will tell them time up, and we will take the mic from them. If someone does not answer the question, unfortunately, they miss the opportunity. We will not go back to them. Please. Thank you very much. Now, the next question. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. The next question is also from someone in the room who doesn't want to ask directly. And the question is, in your stay here in Canada, how have you shown selflessness and helped Nigerians to integrate into the society? And that question is for all of you. Starting from Mr. Digo.
One of the things I've enjoyed greatly, long before we came into Canada, one of the things my wife and I worked with was creating a group called Accra Group, which my wife's an administrator. And one of the things we wanted to do until we discovered there was another group that existed was to bring about unity and cohesion, which we decided to go with the other group which we saw, even though the Accra Group still exists. One of the things I've done, and my wife and I continue to do, is we receive people at the airport. We've done a couple of times. I remember that, who was it, the last person that came? I can't remember, it was Agatha or so, where we cook food and we take to their house. And those are some of the things that we have done. I try not to say some of those things because I'm not doing it because I want a human being to praise me. I'm doing it because I just believe the fact that somebody stretched out a hand to me and I deserve to stretch a hand to somebody else. Those are some of the things I've done. Thank you.
I'm back to you. What have I done to be selfless? With due respect and regard for so many people here, it makes me feel a little bit emotional. I don't want to say much. Many of you people here knows how selfless I've been towards you. I do not really wish to stand there and acknowledge that. It's up to your conscience to decide on your own, to pay it forward the same way I have done it for people that have come across my way. And this election, like I said, does not really matter much to me, except the fact that we still want to be selfless and continue to propagate that inner feeling of consciousness and happiness in trying to serve others. And that's one of the reasons I'm standing here. Thank you.
That's called emotional intelligence. He just works on our emotions.
What have I done? I would say that I have actually helped, I can't count them, help people bring them from airport down to Halifax without collecting anything from them. And I've also helped them in so many ways. Many people, I can't count them. Then secondly, because I was also, someone did the same thing to me when I was coming. And secondly, I've also helped someone that had immigration issue. And this person was about to be deported back to Nigeria. And me and three people here, three people here that we went to the airport and make sure that this woman we got a lawyer for her, a competent lawyer, and she was actually not deported to Nigeria. She was asked to go back, correct her mistake, and she's back here in Canada, and she gave him birth, and she's now doing. I will follow that all through myself. And in the area of services, I've also worked as international student ambassador at NSCC, and currently I'm working with ISANS as practice interview person.
Thank you very much. I would like to call on the person that picked number 7. Please come forward, because those online would like to see.
Hi, everybody. My name is Osas. Winehouse. My question is for everybody on the floor now. What's your plan, or what things you have in place to correct the misconstruction currently available that the association is for people in Halifax? So what plan do you have in place? Because a lot of people believe that the association is primarily for people in Halifax. And we know that there are a couple of people outside HRM, Truro, Sackville, Sydney. So what plan do you guys have in place? Thank you.
60 seconds.
I think, to me, I won't say maybe because people just believe it's for Halifax. Because during the passport exercise, people come from different part of the province to come and do their passport here, and it's just for us that what we are going to do also, that's what I say, we need to strengthen the information base. That's why I put it there, that we're going to create an information base to make sure that to create an inclusive government. People are going to inclusive government. We are going to bring them on board. We're going to bring them together, and all the people in Halifax, like we have said, my administration is going to have. I'm going to set up a strategies that we're going to put people in Cape Breton. We're going to have people in among the students. I said it that one of the students came all the way from Arcadia. He's not from. I think he's he's 1 hour drive away from here. One of the students came all the way from Arcadia University to come and do a video for me. I've been getting in touch with them. I know most of the people out of the Halifax, in Dartmouth, in everywhere. I can link them together. So I don't think we have any problem with that. We'll continue to strengthen the relationship so that they don't feel that the association is only for Halifax. Thank you.
One of the things I was hoping to achieve is the use of the first responders. Like I said, the first responders is not just restricted to just a locality. It's restricted to those various areas, the Sydneys, to Lower Sharkville and Truro and the rest. Because at the end of the day, one of the things that matter most to people is the fact that they have a shoulder they can lean on. Because whether you and I like to know, we're going to go through times of difficulty or times that are challenging. And so one of the things those first responders will be able to do, because people will know that there's government representation, which is what happens when you have local government, that you cannot feel that it's close to the people. So the first responder is one of the things that will make people feel like there's government close enough to them, that regardless of whatever there is, there's somebody I can reach out to within my community that can either mobilize support or whatever that need might be. And that entire first responders is headed by the head of welfare. And that's one of the things I intend to do to be able to tackle that. Because the truth of the matter is, Nova Scotia is expanded in different directions. Thank you.
All right, thanks. I did mention that I'm going to make use of technology. This is one of the easiest ways to actually get people from the outside base to log into the system and join us in meetings. Coincidentally, I've actually traveled far and wide across the province, so I have people that I've actually that I have personal relationship with, which I get in touch with. Part of my strategic initiative is to create satellite unit groups where they meet in 2s or 4s or 6. Most of them are students, and some of them are also residential people that are, many of them are students, they are not students. So we have that concept already mapped out to use, like people in Truro, to help us reach out to the nearby. So we're going to have unit cells that we're going to connect together. But the most important thing is that we encourage them to use the online platform. Through that means, it's easier to actually reach people, and they put in their contribution. And if the meeting requires their physical presence, will co-sponsor their visit to Halifax. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to call number 8 to come and ask the question.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
I'm very happy to be here this evening. And I'm particularly happy because by the time we started, I saw a lot of ladies coming up, presenting themselves for one office or another. And that means that we're going to have women in the majority in the incoming executive. And I know that anywhere in the world, women are better managers. Anywhere in the world. Coming to the aspirants, presidential aspirants, this is the highest level in the office in this association. And if we have not achieved anything this evening, we've made 3 of you sweat. Yes. So, and I know that Nigerians are very critical when they are making their decisions. Some of us have been very regular in meetings, very active in this association. What I will implore you, I'm not going to point at anybody, but what I will implore you this evening is like we say back home, before you cast your vote, shine your eyes. Because I was reading something yesterday, Michelle Obama was talking about the current president of America. Michelle Obama said that an office doesn't change who you are. Rather, it even exposes who you are. So if you have not been active in this meeting and we elect you, you are going to run this association aground. There's no doubt about that. So please shine your eyes. Forget about the manifestos and all that. I mean, we know, everybody knows how politicians come across to people when they are seeking for votes. I have had a lot of very interesting things here. Some things are not realistic. And for me, before you put forward a manifesto to people, you should make sure that you will be able to realize that. Otherwise, we are just wasting our time. I have heard about paying, what do you call it? Security deposit for accommodation. So if 20 Nigerians arrive in Nova Scotia in a year, we'll cough out 30,000. How much? Okay, so we'll cough out $30,000 for that year. And then again, if you've been active in this association, you should have an idea of how much we have in this association in a year. And they say when the person leaves, we pay deposit. If I go into an apartment, I can decide to live there for 10 years. And that deposit will still be with the property owner. So let's talk about something that is realistic. Yeah? That being said, I just have one little question for 3 of you. Because I've not had anybody addressing the issues we've been experiencing in the last executive and all that. Granted, the past executive, to be honest with you, because I've been here for about 3 years, the past executive has taken this association to a very higher level. And that's why we're all here. There was a quantum leap. I saw it. I'm expecting that the incoming executive will move up further ahead. But most of the things I'm hearing here are repetition or even something lower than what we've achieved. So, my question, forget about that one. Now, my question is this. As in everybody, when you're relating with people or group of people, from time to time, there is bound to be some areas of friction or disagreement or whatever. I want to ask 3 of you, how do you, assuming there's an issue, or even when there's not an issue, how do you intend to carry not just the members of the executive along with you, or if there is an issue within you, how do you intend to resolve it on time without the issue affecting the smooth running of the association? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the question is, how do you intend on resolving issues, conflicts, your conflict resolution strategy? That's what we want.
Thank you very much. Okay, what I will first address is the deposit. Is a realistic idea. And how am I going to achieve that? I actually base that on 20 people, let's say 20 people per year. And let me tell you, we are highly respected people, Nigerians, coming to Nova Scotia. $400 or $500 deposit is not going to be a burden for you. If we pay you $500, we use it to help you to settle down. It's for you to pay us back. And it's likely for you, if you don't pay us back, we make over the last election, the last administrative revenue was over $50,000 into association. Just look at, I budgeted everything on that $50,000, and I can tell you that we can guarantee pay $20,000 for people that landed successfully, and they will pay that money back. I guarantee you, and I stand for them if they don't pay it. So that's for that. So, and secondly, for the how am I going to the conflict? So the conflict management skills that I have, I've been a manager all the rest of my life, and I own my own company as well. So it's good for me to put a strategy to manage the conflict within the organization, and I will strengthen the board of directors. The board of directors, if there's any issue in the association that we can't resolve internally, the board of directors will need to step in.
Okay. There's a difference between leading a paid organization and leading in a non-profit organization like we have. The last 25 years, I've found myself in non-profit organization in different roles and different aspects, and I've been opportune to lead it and lead it effectively. And that's allowed me to enjoy all kinds of. So I'm coming with a lot of experience in being able to lead a non-profit organization that does not involve payment or salary, because the psychic is different. It's not lordship. It's not I'm paying you money, so you must do it this way. One of the ground rules that matter most to us is the fact that we'll have intellectual discourse on every subject matter, and then we'll put it to vote. We're people of democracy. The majority must always have his way. It is not something, I don't believe that my way is the only way. I believe that there are different ways. So at the end of the day, if the majority says this is what we will do, then we will support it fully. So all our conversations will be put based into a vote after we've had extensive intellectual discourse on it, and as a result we will vote, and whatever the majority says is what we'll go with. That's part of our ground rules.
Okay, thank you. One of the best ways to resolve conflict is to make sure that it doesn't even exist. So we try as much as possible to anticipate areas of concern and deal with them, disintegrate them ahead of time. But should it still exist, we have, as part of our strategic initiative, we've brought up a concept of voice survey, which is going to be quarterly, so that people will voice out their opinion on time, so that it forms integral part of our agenda. And by so doing, it's going to make sure that several of those things that can cause conflict actually disintegrate before they even have enough opportunity to crystallize. But having said that, when conflict occurs, I'm a people management person. I've spent over 22 years doing this across boundaries, international companies. I've been a member of executive board of directors of about 3,200 people. So I can assure you that I have the skills. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Number 13, can you please come forward?
Thank you very much. Actually, we've listened to the three of you that are contesting for this position of the presidency. My name is Adibo Aliolunichi. You guys are articulate. And you know what concerns me most, what I'm really concerned about you guys are. When I landed 3 years ago, I immediately joined this association. I could remember many of us do attend meetings then. That's why every time I keep giving it to her, because I keep telling her one thing. People might not be coming, but people are landing. By the time they take over this association, you will know that it's going to the next level. When Kunle came in, it took if Kunle didn't set this standard, I'm sure people won't be here. It will be as if when we first came, there will be 4 or 5 of us at the meeting and everything. But when we came in, when our set came in, we joined her. The population increased. Now, thank God, it's getting better. Plans are coming up and everything. But you know, my concern about the 3 of you is that how often do you attend meetings? Because if you don't attend meetings, you can't come here and tell us you want to do this, do that, do that. Some people say, at meeting this one. How often do each one of you attend meetings? Because if you attend meetings, you will know where we are going and what the problem of the association. Those of us that will attend the meeting, we know ourselves. So the question I'm asking is that, tell us, when I was a floor member, this is my contribution. If you appoint me as the president, this is what I will do. When I was a floor member, I attend meeting, I do this. I'm sure I've attended over 50% of the meeting and I know where the problem is. When you put me in, this and this and this is what I'm promising you I will do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would say that this question is a 30 seconds question. So you have 30 seconds to answer the question.
Everybody knows I'm always at the meeting. I've attended 75% of the meeting that the Constitution said. Thank you.
One of the key things, let me just say this. I haven't been to the meetings, and one of my major concerns, or one of the things I did as a floor member, was work actively with almost all of the executives. Even though I was not physically attending, and we'll have such cases where people will not attend, but it doesn't equate the fact that their value or what they bring to the table is minimal. What matters is the value they bring. So, for example, when there was the issue of there was no PRO, they are near to replace, and this near to be done, I stepped in. And one of the things I did was I brought in the largest contribution for the Nigerian week. That's important. And that has to be said. And it's not because I'm trying to brag about it, but it's just because of the fact that even if I never made the meetings, I value whatever was said and I ran with whatever the vision was. Because the Bible says, write the vision, that those that read it, people like me, we will run. We ran with the vision. Even though we were not seated on the seat. There are many people who will be amongst the number, but they're just numbers. People like me are not addition, we are multiplication.
Yeah, very briefly, I led the committee that reviewed the data policy of the bylaw, completed it within time, and it was published. I also was involved in conflict resolution of the ESCOs during the period. I also supported in the volunteering of the Nigerian Week. I supported in the giving out of the awards. I was practically involved in every aspect of the ESCO living. Thank you.
Presidential candidates, please, let's stick to the time. Next question would be from online, and that would be, how will paid members get value for their money aside from passports? How are they going to get value for their money? And you have just 60 seconds to answer the question. I'll start with you.
I think some of the question, this particular question, are things that we've tried to attempt to answer. The value proposition that we have talked about are things that we've tried to answer. Earlier on, one of the things I said, there's a policy document called LCC Wing, and it encapsulates all of this. The quickest one of the things I talk about is insurance. Insurance is something that cuts across everybody. As long as you're in Canada, you are going to experience, or you have to pay insurance. I've told you, and I've said, as a member of Association of Nigerians living in Nova Scotia, you are going to enjoy 9% reduction or rebate on your insurance. If you have home insurance included, it will be 21%. That's just one of the benefits. So if you are paying $2,000 as your insurance, it means you will pay less by $180. That is much more than the $50 you are putting in to become a member. And that will also affect your internet usage. You get rebate on your internet also, and even the gadgets that you buy. So what I'm saying, that the values are, there are so many to begin to sit down, whether you are the ladies have spoken about empowering meetings. When you're about the children, I've spoken about the 2-hour sessions on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis.
One of the value propositions is summer camp for everyone. So also, the soccer competition is free. You are no more paying for the soccer competition. Everyone is welcome. For your gym, it's free. I'm going to assure you that. And also, for the recreation, everything you want to do, we're going to make sure that everything we're going to provide for you. We will continue to improve on the annual passport renewal exercise, and we will make sure that whoever that has paid membership due, we get a robust discount for your passport renewal. And also, we will also improve on the already existing monthly meeting to educate members as well. So we will also establish awards. Every student that has paid their membership due up to date will also get, because it's going to be, when we are releasing the award to the universities, we will tell them that every student that paid the membership due will have the criteria of meeting the standard that needed that money. We will give them the money for their membership due. Thank you.
Okay, very briefly, I will tell you only what is SMART. That is specific, measurable, realistic, and time-bound. I will not sell snow to an Eskimo. So we need to be sure that whatever we plan to do, have a financial basis for doing that. So one of my ways of getting value for money is to make sure that we get closer to the government of the day. With getting closer to the government of the day, we can access many of the opportunities we have there. And that's one of the reasons why my team is on connecting all the opportunities we have around. There's no point promising you what will never happen. I am aware of several of these things because I've been on ground enough. But time is going to tell in case they want to try it. So we're going to see that. So part of the things I'm going to do is also reintegrate the business community. We have a lot of opportunities. We have some of our members here who could actually make it happen for us. We try and reach them as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll apologize to those who sent in their number earlier on and have not been called. The numbers just came in, so we just collated them that way. That being said, I would like to call number 6.
Thank you very much. My name is Deepo Salvador. You guys are great. You've said a lot of things. Some of them are far-fetched, but yeah, we understand Nigerian politics and politicians. Well, so that being said, you guys mentioned something about value for membership. We've heard the first thing that strikes you when you land in Nova Scotia is the Nigerian Association. And the first thing they tell you is pay your dues. This is what you get. If you're offering discount to, if you talk about things you get from being a member, you can't even offer discount to newly landed people. What's wrong with meeting people at the airport with their membership card for the first 6 months that it's free? I don't understand that part. But that being said, my question to you guys is, you said beautiful things today, but what is your 30, 60, 90-day plan? How do you plan to achieve it? Thank you.
60 seconds, please.
Okay, I will start immediately by looking at the documentation we have in place. We have a lot of things to do in that area. Secondly is that we are going to use the technology that I made mention. We actually have a prototype. We have an app already that we are going to deploy. Everything is aimed at taking advantage of the opportunity that the internet has given us to be able to reach wider people and get more value across to them as soon as possible. Then we also plan to look at the social and cultural aspect of things. We have many of these, our Adams, our social group of the YMCA, ISANS and co. We wish to penetrate them more in order to get a better value that we have been missing, because Adams has been waiting for us. ISAN is waiting for us to collaborate as an association, not as an individual. Many of us go as individuals, but there are more cake that we can actually bite off these people, because most of the time they return most of the fund. I'm a beneficiary of a government process. And my schooling for 2 years is being funded by the government, FOC, free of charge. And I'm here. And I'm telling people this is possible if only we choose to penetrate and get the value for our presence in Canada. Thank you.
So how we tend in, like I said we will use first attraction. by paying your security deposit. When you land, if paying your security deposit is for you to know that this association care for you, and that's to guarantee you are in the safe hand. You will continue. That encourages you to pay your membership due. And I spoke with a doctor that told me that. I said, sir, come and pay. He's been here for 10 years. I said, please come and pay your membership due. And he said, what should I pay it for? It's $50. It's chicken change for me, but I can pay $1,000 if I see value for the money. So part of the value, like you said, as you are coming from the airport, we give you your deposit slip that you can return to us. It's part of the money that we are sure that that's how we're going to get revenue for you to encourage you to pay the membership due. And also, we are also going to emphasize on the membership card very well, so that as you are paying the membership card, all that will drive revenue into the pocket of the association. When we have enough money, we'll be able to achieve a lot. Thank you.
So the first month.
This is a debate. If they don't answer, that's
So the first month, by the time we're having our first meeting in the month of February, which is the last Saturday in the month of February, these are the things that we'll set up at that meeting. One, what I call the newcomers team. Those are what I call the greeters at the airport. The first responder team will be formed at that meeting, which is 30 days in. The first rebate will be formally formalized, which is the one about the insurance. It will be formalized at the very first meeting. The children's program event, the children's program event will be announced because there's a curriculum. There's a curriculum that will be announced as regards what the various activities for the children program is. At that first meeting, you would get it. There's empowering topics. So all the meetings we're going to have going forward from March, April, May, we'll give you the titles of the meeting, and we'll give you guest speakers that are going to come. It's going to happen, and we really call them personal development program, because that's what the meetings are. Those are the things that you get in the first 30 days.
Thank you very much. I have number four. Please, let's go straight to our questions, please.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to ask questions. So, I have listened to all. My name is Ugochukwu Ezemenari. I live in Dartmouth. So, my question goes to the candidates, and I want to find out, like the last question says, I want to go down. We all have bogus and robust strategies and manifesto how to achieve. How do we intend to generate the revenue to fund what you plan to do? Being that we still have low turnouts in terms of membership subscription, because from what I've heard all day is majority of the part of our source of revenue is from membership, and then so I want to know what are other things you're going to do to generate the money to fund your government. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I would probably say this question has been asked in a different way before. However, you have 30 seconds because it's a similar question to respond.
Yeah, like I said part of the way to drive revenue into the association is just basically now where we get donation from is membership. And we have to encourage, we have to create value for people to see the value to pay that membership due. I know people that can pay more than $50 as a membership due per annum. And one of the things we will tell them is that membership due, $50 is minimum. $50 is minimum. You can pay more. If you see the value, you can pay. I can afford to pay $200 per annum. And I know many of us here can afford to pay more. And
one of the things that we've carefully done with our policy is to stay off things that would involve so much money or involve money. Most of what I've suggested so far is just for us to just rejig our minds. So when I talk about rebate does not take money from us as an association. It actually gives us money. Some of the programs and projects I'm putting out there are not things that we need to go and look for capital to do. It's just being able to just use our numbers and leverage it, which we haven't done effectively. So.
Well, most of the costs that is attributed to my initiative are very menial. There are things that is not really going to take much. My campaign is costing me next to nothing because many people contributed to it. So my wish would be that we'll continue in that stride, and I will make judicious use of the limited available resources of the members' fee, such that in the long term, we'll probably not need to pay any amount of money. I mean, that would be my drive. Thank you.
We have the very last question. Number 14. Go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Michael. Last question. I'm hoping that I'm saving the best for last. Well done, guys. I mean, it's been a barrage of questions, and you guys have done absolutely well. But what I like to see is a lot of signage. I like to see people work with each other, right? Part of the feelers that I had with past proceedings and the executive was they weren't working together too much, and some people felt some ideas were over the top. Well, what I'm trying to find out now from you contestants is, right now, I want to understand what point has any of your fellow contestants made that you like, and tell me what point that is that you feel that is a good idea, and what point have they also made today that you think wouldn't fly, it's not a good idea, that you think that that should be thrown to the trash. Thanks.
60 seconds, please. There you go.
Yeah, I think the point I will say is that I value the area of Papa Yankee, where he said that we're going to use the community existing resources. Papa Yankee is very, very resourceful when it comes to information, and I will give it to him. So he's very, very resourceful. So the point is that in terms of that, then in terms of technology, Papa Yankee has been shouting for technology. With my experience, technology is fantastic when it works. So the point is that the technology, you say you have it existing already, but why don't you just talk to the executive right now to introduce it to them? And I don't know why it's just now that you want to become the president that you want to, you just have it now. Thank you. Then,
obviously, it's the issue of technology and leveraging on technology. I heard that a lot. So it's something I believe that is something that we should open our hearts and our minds to. I like the fact that you don't always, I'm not admitting, I like action. So I like the fact where you talked about using Zoom and using those type of technology, because a lot of meetings we have, sometimes are just conferences, and which is good. It'd be nice to have that kind of idea to be able to implement. I think it's one of the fantastic ideas that I've heard Papa Yankee say today. I don't know if I should talk about what I think is unrealistic, but let's do civil war.
Okay, thank you. Whatever is not going to be accepted by the group is not going to be in the front burner again. We'll keep it in the archive until the time permits us to address it. Every issue I raised, every aspect that is in my slide, they are all achievable, but it depends on what the people need. So it is only whatever the people need that we're going to bring to the front burner, and from there we execute it. Every single part of my presentation in terms of my strategic initiative has been contributed by the members that are going to be on this team. So it's not actually my concept alone, but some of them are actually from the people that are seated. So, but I haven't said that I don't actually have any low point in my presentation. Thank you. Okay, on their own. Okay, fine. The financial implication of some of the promises are tactically impossible. I've gotten in touch with the soccer team, and we leave the rest for time.
Thank you. Sorry, we have just one last question.
My name is Ifo Ikede. I have two questions. One I think is impossible to answer, but I think we need to solve. And that is that I think we need to play football with love. And I think there's something that's happening on that football team that is not good on Saturdays. Some people are avoiding it because they don't want to break their leg. Because we came here to be together. So I think, my question and challenge is how, as you as a president, find a way to bring that love back into how we're playing football together. Because we're not missing our war. And my last thing, which indirectly related to that, is what are we going to do that will also be supportive for women? Because most of the people who are playing football are men. So I think we need to find ways to talk to women. How will you engage with women? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All this soccer. How will you engage me? 60 seconds.
I've talked about gym, fit, that we're going to partner with. So we are giving you gym, we are giving you summer camp to go and enjoy with your family. It's for the family. Thank you.
Quickly, that's why earlier on I said that there are some things that are unique to women, and I think it's wrong for men to say this is what women should do. So that's the reason why I said that the women will always have opportunities amongst themselves to come together. Whatever they decide, we will support as an association. That's what I've said regarding whether it's a business, an idea, or whatever it is. We're going to go behind this. We're not the ones legislating for you. I will not tell the women what to do. I don't know whether it's fitness they want to do. How do I know? Maybe it's cooking they want to be doing. So whatever it is, we will support. And that's where we start. That's the standpoint of my leadership. So that's it for me.
I share the same belief with Goke on this. Women are free to become whoever they will choose to be. So whatever cause that drives you, please reach out to us. We are listening partners and we'll be able to execute. And it's not limited to only the women, the men too. There are some strategic thinking that goes behind bottles of drinks. So we will encourage everybody. The choice is for us, but please don't let's forget the kids. We have formidable programs for the kids, taking care of them for you, especially during July and August, when the long break comes in, it's in our stride, and we're going to do the best we can. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our presidential candidates. Like one of our elders said, there's a saying back home, they say, what an elder sees sitting down, the child standing cannot see it. Our elder has told us to cast your vote wisely, shine your eyes. Can we please clap for the presidential candidates as they go back to their seats? And thank you to everyone who was able to ask questions. We have the membership card available. So if you've paid your membership dues and you haven't collected your cards, please meet our president at the back to collect your cards. For the next thing, I will call on the chairman, the INEC chairman.
Thank you so much, everybody, once again. Silence, please. Want to leave this place probably in the next 30-40 minutes. Please, let's get this done. Thank you. Please, let's want to leave this place as fast as possible. All right, please. Sorry, please. Decorum, please. Thank you. We have a lot of issue aside this that's going on, and I will say that during my opening speech that there's a lot of misconceptions and misrepresentation about election that's probably we're going up in hooks and corners out there. And one of the essence of this meeting was actually to address them, and we hope we will do that. That's one. But before we do that, because Mr. President is about to leave, the standing president will recognize that. And I quickly want to say, some people say, why are we collecting? Why do people have to register to vote? Why do you have to pay $50 to vote? All these questions. Somebody asked a question, the fact that everybody is in a community, is it that truly everybody wants security? And if among the security are thieves, do you think they also want security? No. So I just want to run what I have this before Mr. President please takes his time. Yeah. So we'll be talking about election modalities coming next week, Sunday. So the date is 26 January 2020, and the venue is going to be BMO Center, and the time is going to be 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. About voting, we'll be having the voting will be coming in physical and online. Only registered voters who have shown interest, that is, send their names and intention to vote. I'll say that again. Send their names in and have said intention to vote. People say, why are we doing this? Presently, we have about 135 paid members. All right. We don't want to assume the 135 want to come and vote. We don't want to assume by doing that, because we are printing ballot papers, and this election is low base. There is no cost right now as what we are doing now. All these things didn't come free. So we'll not just go ahead and just print ballot papers and people will not show up. All right. This is part of managing our money. So if you want to vote, show interest. Even in Nigeria, not everybody that actually said I'm a Nigerian did voted. So you need to come in and show that interest. We don't want to force you to come and vote. Not everybody is interested, right? So that's our point, please. Of course, because it's closing tomorrow. We said the mail has been sent out, and that's one of the reasons why we didn't close before now. Because some people actually don't see the reason why they should do that, and that is why we want to emphatically say that here today. That opportunity is going to close tomorrow because we want to collate. Sorry, please. I'm sorry. Let me finish. Sorry, please. Let me finish. Thank you. Please hold your question. Thank you. Like I said, the closing date for this interest is January 20th by midnight. We will then send a mail to everyone confirming the accreditation list. Everybody that's sending they want to vote, we're going to send a mail to them. So should in case you didn't see your name in this mail, latest by Friday, you can get back to us. But if you get a mail, you don't need to reply us. That's that. So by then, if you don't get a mail by Thursday or Friday, please call us or send us a mail. This will allow us to make adequate materials for election possible. Physical voting modalities. Physical voting will be conducted. I hope I'm not too fast. Physical voting will be conducted at the above venue. Voters are required to present their ANS membership card for identification, and will then issue them a ballot paper to cast their votes. The ballot paper is going to be in the middle of the house. It's going to be sealed off, and they're going to be opening in the center, so everybody will see how you drop. It's not at the corner. It's going to be in the middle of the house. So voting by internet. Voting online is strictly for Nigerians who are residents of Nova Scotia. Voting via the internet will be conducted via our anselection@gmail.com. That is where you send in if you want to vote online. Online voting will start by 3 p.m. and close by 3:30. Any voting that comes in before 3 p.m. and after 3:30 will not be acknowledged. Any voting that comes in before 3 p.m. and after 3:30 will not be acknowledged as part of the vote, but will be used for logistics and reports. On 26th, we're having lowdown. The AGM is going to take place on the 26th. So while the AGM is going on, the executive are coming to tell us what and what. Please silence, please. Then after the AGM, we're going to introduce the board to the whole house. So this is between 3 to 4 p.m. Then after that, we're going to dissolve the present executive. Then after that, we're going to election straight. Then after election modality, we'll declare the winner and we'll go from there. Voting by proxy. There will be no voting by proxy, meaning you cannot send someone to vote for you or use your membership card to vote. We will be having international observers to help monitor the systems. The observers are not Nigerians. We have, they are not Nigerians. They are not Nigerians. We'll give them, you see them wearing their tags, and they will be the one around the ballot paper. They will be the one to count it. We will not count it. They will count it online too. I mean, like you said, 3. That's why we said we're opening for 3 and to close 3:30. They have access to it like this online. I'm going there, man. Thank you. I'm going there. So we will be having international observers to help blah blah blah. Then unopposed needs at least 2/3 of the total votes. So we don't want to just assume because I didn't is unopposed. I mean, you need a vote. So we said you need a 3/3 of that. We'll be having the Halifax Police Team Patrol. Let me quickly state that. Information reaching us that some people say they want to come and dissolve. Some information reaching us, valid information that people want to come and disrupt. I'm just wondering why I didn't see them here today. They want to come and disrupt this and the debate. And I also want to sound it clear that we have this information recorded on the phone line. They send it to us. Somebody from here in Nigeria sent it to us. So we didn't take that for granted. So I called the chief police and he said, so one of them came in today. They were around downstairs. If anybody said them, they were just going around. They asked us if we have a suspect. We do have a suspect, but we did not give them because we're law-abiding citizens. So for that day, you're also going to be around, but also talk to the PMO security. So if you actually know somebody who intends to come and do this, please tell them to stay back for their own benefit. All right. We just have information reaching us now that we would love to use this place for the. They just confirmed that with the president now that we should use this place for election. You know, that we should use this place for election. We'll send out the mail after tonight that election. I'm just confirming that with Mr. President and my colleague. We're going to be using this place for election, and every other thing still stands. So the election committee shall not accommodate non-resident voters. According to the Canadian family law, a resident must be an habitual resident with a proof of address by authorization institution. How will we do that? In case you have to bring an authorization. If you said you want to vote, before I call five or three people here, they know who you are now. So, but all these modalities, please don't let us do this. It's not a do or die affair. Let us just go with this law and do it successfully. All students who would like to vote are to come up with their student ID card, because some have claimed they are students and they have paid $20, which we can't even verify right now. But we want to verify that. Then aside that, again, requirement once again is membership ID card, send a mail of interest, physical online voting. How do we do physical online voting? Thank you. Presently, everybody that sends their interest to vote. Right now, we have sorry, please, just a minute. I wrote it down there. So right now, we have 85 people have shown interest for vote, and those 85 people already were generating a code for the whole 85. So if you are voting online and you don't send in your code, how are we going to verify this is annulled? So every person that have sent in their interest that they want to vote, they have a code. And somebody said, what if I don't have a membership? Would I not allow? Of course, we have a list here. We have a membership list of paid members that have been sent to us, and you come in on that. Somebody does landed from Nigeria that day, and or whatever. If not, photo ID, I will confirm that you have paid from here. Why won't you not allow you to? But these things are just logistics, right, to help us. So if we already have 135 people and almost 150 is already known, I mean, we can actually make room for the other people and take them in. Not that just assume from the air everybody is coming and people will not show up. You understand what I'm saying? So we are actually open for improvement, and that's what we're trying to say. We are having a generated code for everybody. So even after election, and some people are not pleased with the result, we can go by the code and can verify all these things. The code are generic. I'm not the one generating it. So that is why if you send in your whatever online, that's why I also say online start by 3 and close 3:30. So we'll have time to monitor that and check that by the observer, which will tell them and what to do. Aside that, I think that is the major thing we're talking about. That. Sorry, please. Yeah. Somebody asked for our terms of reference, which I will display on the board. But before that, also. I have a question, please. Oh yeah. We want to talk about media. Okay, please. All right, please.
Online code, because I have sent a mail to an indication interest that I want to
vote,
but I have not received any code. So are you going to give us the code later?
Well, no, you don't. You don't get the code now. We know when to give you the code, like we said. For a time you want to vote, you get. We're not going to give you the code now. The code is in our office here, but everybody has the code. That's what we're trying to say. Thank you. Send a mail to anselection.com, your name, and that. We'll send that mail so many times, and which is going to close 20th, which you said tomorrow. We're going to send a reminder tonight, close tomorrow, so that we can go to the drawing board and put all this together. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we're coming to a printer. We'll print for them and generate a code for them.
It's about the time frame for the online vote. I think it's too short.
Too short?
Yeah.
Too short because, sorry, the reason is that some people might be working and they can't just do it because it's the time you set. It's not, so it might be kind of
Thank you, Mr. Abdul. So what do you want us to do? 1 hour, 30 minutes. Should we increase it? Should we increase it? Should we increase everybody? 1 hour. Thank you. Simple. Next person. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Mr. Wisdom, sorry. Yeah.
So I was thinking it's a little logical to say if the payment deadline is end of day 20th, you give a little room for indication of interest because I have to pay before I indicate my interest to you.
Yeah.
So it might be more logical to say, okay, maybe 4 hours or 12 hours just after the cutoff for payment, you should have made up your mind to say you want to send your email or not. But if you put it end to end, yeah, it works, but I think logically it might be better for you.
Thank you. Sometimes what is logically right could be logically wrong from psychology. So what I'm trying to say is that we have given almost 1 month saying this all the time. If we don't put, we're trying to synergize with you, and if we don't put deadline to things, people take it for granted. They just take it anyhow. So we will not do that. Sorry. No, we're not extending. We're not extending. We have a closing date, and that's why we said this meeting. We should have sent the closing. Listen, the closing date was meant to be December 31st last year. But we extended it, so we'll not keep extending things, all right? Thank you. The last person before Mr. Kunle, please. The last person over there. Sonia, please. Yes, I am, because we need to go on. All right.
3 things I want to request.
Fast, please.
No, I'll speak at my pace, don't worry.
Okay.
3 things I want to, if this is a meeting, and if this is some sort of a quorum, I would like to move 3 things. Number 1 is that we expand the electoral committee.
Thank you.
Number 2, we extend the closing date, even if it's by 1 more day. Why? Because a lot of people are only just more aware of what's going on. And I can send you screenshots of several people who have chatted with or have exchanged
Sorry, extend closing date for what?
And they say extend closing date for this, your
Registration
and indication of voting. Because people are only more aware now. Let's not now put that barrier to stop some people who are now interested. I have evidence of 3 people who told me yesterday that, I didn't know I had to send. I know we send these emails, and you are doing awesome at that. But communication happens when you send the message and the other person receives it. So I think we should just create that gap. If we can't do it till Wednesday, I was actually going to ask till Wednesday, but maybe we can do it till Tuesday. That's the second motion I would like to move. The third one, please, is the time for. I think that has been established. Moving the voting time left to 1 hour. 1 hour 30 minutes. I think it's too long. 1 hour. It's enough.
All right, thank you. Fast.
Yeah.
During the election meeting, we asked for people who are interested to come and work at here. Sorry. So we asked people to please come volunteer for this office. Before I actually stood up, it was by grace we got my assistant, and we asked for more people. We can't do more than that. And even before that meeting, remember it was Choma that landed that meeting we were there. That has also been said before that meeting. It's because we failed to do our response. If we have been coming to meeting, all of us will be there. So, like I said, going forward, one of the biggest slap I've been reported, we can't have to. There was a time they wanted the meeting with the ESCO, and I told them, I want the meeting, she doesn't want the meeting. We're going to have it. So we need a hall. Going forward, that is noted. We'll close the date. Do you all agree to extend the date?
No. Going forward, my motion was to expand the committee. Are you accepting the motion?
Yes.
Are we expanding the
Not for this one, for the next one. Not for this one. Not for this one. We're done for this one. Only for that, I say next time, come to meeting and we'll be together. We're done.
Can I say something?
However, I think you guys should know.
Hello. Okay. Can I say something? Nice on. You see, the payment. The reason why we gave to January 20th is that it's mistake part of us, both the president, because when we send email out, they're supposed to send email and stated that everybody must pay by December 31st, and the mistake was made. And I was out of the country. Then they called me and I said, okay, let's give them to 20th. And when we're giving them to 20th, they have to put in the email to remind them that what they are paying is 2029, not 2020. Because everybody's paid their annual dues for 2029. 2019, I mean to say 2019, I'm sorry, 2019, okay? Because when new executives take over, then the new annual due will start. Everybody will start paying their 2020 annual due. So everybody that paid their annual due right now is 2019. Please. So be mindful of that, okay? Please.
Let's share that information via email.
Yeah, it was a mistake. They didn't put it there. So I said I must bring it up today and I must say it again on voting day so that people have to know what they are doing. Please.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Are we extending the date for voting?
I know.
What about?
Yes. How about emails? At least you can.
Okay.
No, just.
We tested on the 20th. So today does not tomorrow.
21st.
21st. Everybody should say start 21st. Tuesday, 21st Tuesday, midnight.
Midnight over Scotia time.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I just want to stand here today to appreciate every single member of the Nigerian Nova Scotian community for what they have been able to support us to accomplish in the past 2 years. We wouldn't be standing here today having this very robust debate if not for the good work the outgoing team has done. All the people that have spoken today have said a lot of things, but I really want to thank you all for standing, for coming out, for stepping up, for asking difficult questions, and for keeping us on our toes. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to serve. Secondly, I would like to recognize the Electoral Committee. The task we have given them is a very difficult task. They are not the best people in the world, but with the limited resources they had, they have been able to do this, and I think we can all give them a pat on the back and give them a pass mark. Please give them a round of applause. And last but not least, I would also like to recognize someone who really does not like to be recognized, but on whose back we have actually accomplished a lot of what we have accomplished in terms of media and publicity. Mr. Goinga Akintokun, I'm about to offend you. Please stand up for it. As I speak with you today, irrespective of what we have done, current administration, this man is the backbone of the public relations, of the publicity, our website, our MailChimp, our branding. Without fear of contradiction, I can say it anyway, that is the one that took us from where we were to where we are today. And as I speak with you now, the social media engagement for this online streaming, we have over 125 people participating online real time, and we have 6 questions coming in per minute based on the live streaming that he is contributing without even asking for a dime. Please, let's appreciate it. So in closing, once again, I'd like to thank everyone. In the past 2 years, I'll be deceiving myself if I say we have not ruffled a lot of feathers. If I say we have not stepped on a lot of toes, I will be deceiving myself. So I'm going to, on behalf of my ex-cos and myself, issue a blanket apology to everyone that we may have offended. I just want you all to know that we did all we needed to do in the interest of the greater good. We needed to stay on the ball. We needed to stay focused. We needed to make sure we were not dragged behind by distractions. I thank you so much. If we don't offend you, no vex. Thank you so much for the opportunity you have given us. And please, like Mr. Alex said, elections are coming up. Elections are coming up. Please shine your eye. If any EXCO that is here, please join me. Please. If you are an EXCO and you are here in the room, please stand up and come forward. Stand up and come forward. Akintunde, I saw you just now. So these are the people that have gone above and beyond in the past 2 years to do things that we are all here to enjoy today. The welfare officer, Faith Eweka, the secretary, even though some of the contestants have said that we do not have any record, the first thing we did was to digitize the record keeping. Every single thing is there and can be provided in 2 minutes flat. So please give her a round of applause for that. And the welfare officer has done exceedingly well. Akintunde, the treasurer, it was able to present audited financial statements by CPA for 2 years. All these things are there. So, and we are happy for all these things we have accomplished. Thank you once again for the opportunity to serve. And we hope to retire and become elder statesmen so that we can point fingers starting next week. Thank you and have a great day.
All right, in the absence of no further discussion, anybody? All right, listen now, sorry. Before we go, one last thing. People were asking us for us to look into the minutes of the general meeting that gave us today. People have issue about that minute, and I said I don't have power to do that. At the AGM, we'll do that. You understand what I'm saying? So we're not putting anything under the carpet. We'll address issue going forward, and which you have seen that it's going to be a better place. We're also sorry that Waters and item 7 was on the well, like you know. So in the absence of no further meeting, please let us pray, please. Let us pray. Let us pray. Let us pray, please. Let us pray. Let us thank God. Mr. Alao, where is Mr. Alao? Mr. Alao, where are you? Yeah, please say a prayer for us.
So we thank God for the. We thank the Almighty God for the successful completion of this debate, and we appreciate everybody. So
we're talking to God. We will not pray while we're talking. Let's be respectful. It's now God time now. Please. Please. Let us pray. Let us pray. All right.
So in the name of God, the most beneficent and the most merciful. So we thank God Almighty for the successful completion of this debate. So we are going back to our various houses now. So we want God to guide us to our home safely and be with us, and as we prepare for the elections. So we do not want violence, we do not want rancor. So it is all in the interest of the association and everyone in Nova Scotia, Nigerians. So we pray to God to be with us, guide us aright, and lead us well. In God's name we pray. Amen. Thank you all.
No ballots.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.